Need a ride?
You. What are you doing here? No?
No.
You should get out of here. This place is bad news. Pardon me.
It is quite peculiar, the happenings I've been made to witness for my supernatural longevity. I am thinking of one unfortunate phenomenon in particular, of unique interest to my station, both as a professional and as a sufferer of this vampiric condition. It seems the stream of time has begun to erode the moorings of my chosen course of study, for the methodologies that gave birth to psychology are slowly disappearing. I find myself in an era that overlooks the physical component of psychological pathology time and again in favor of the sophistic practices of Freud. Phrenology, dactopintilism, and the rest of the old guard has fallen by the wayside, its champions all silenced in death, with my unique exception. Would that I could make my voice heard again, although it may be suspicious should I return to popular medical discourse 50 years after my apparent death. No, better that I continue my studies into the psychoses in secret. One day, may I hold up my own cure as validation of the methods. I am confident no cure for my condition, or that of my beloved wife, lies within our figurative minds, waiting to be unlocked by the correct combination of memories recovered from our childhoods. And I'm most certain it has nothing to do with the relationship between myself, my parents, and my genitals. Sorry, Sigmund, but I choose to stay my course. In time, too, may your star fade and disappear.
Something's there in the dark?
Another unfortunate casualty to tide of time, insane asylums. I lament their loss not only as brokerage houses for the breadth and depth of human psychoses, but also I shall mourn the disappearance of that peculiar environment present only in an insane asylum. That palpable atmosphere of blistered brains and churning bowels, the odoriferous melange of freely flowing bodily humors, that gently rolling cacophony of distant sobs and screams, the muttered cursing at perceived enemies, and the blissful gurgling of the lobotomized, like a newborn babe discovering the sky. I shall still find test subjects as surely as I find bloody sustenance in the night, but this climate, I fear, may never be replicated. Often I reflect with great regret on the missed opportunity that was my infector. Had I been conscious after the attack, I could have stopped the orderlies from locking her in the roaming pen. What I would give for just one interview, a few simple questions of the plague-ridden woman who met her end that dawn. Of course, there is no guarantee she would have been any more helpful than my current crop of test subjects, mewling wretches. Few could be called enthusiastic. Given the nature of the tests, I cannot expect the same fervor from all, but a modicum of cooperation would be appreciated. Animals. The one called John went so far as to gnaw off his arm and escape into the floorboards like some feral rodent. I still hear him scurrying about at night. He must be making an atrocious mess in there. My studies proceed at a languid pace. I'm mired in a foul ennui as my wife's illness advances. My subjects grow restless without proper supervision, but I cannot pull myself back from this black depression. How many nights I've wasted now, gazing from the tower walk, pondering the frailty of existence. After decades of solitary study into this affliction, I have learned that it is by no means mine alone. Indeed, the city is home to an entire society of similarly afflicted individuals with whom I've only recently made contact. They are an understandably standoffish sort, by and large, but I have been able to confirm with them that the condition is indeed vampirism, which apparently comes in a multitude of strains, each with a spectacular set of symptoms such as invisibility and even a sort of lycanthropy. Through numerous official interactions with the governing body of this secret society, I have concluded that their fundamental understanding of the vampiric condition is woefully lacking and mired in suspicion and pseudo-religious dogma that would make a Turk balk for its strictures. Indeed, they seemed impressed with my studies and the eloquence with which I was able to present them. Apparently, the typical sufferer of my particular strain of vampirism is far from the vanguard of the King's English. So impressed were they that they even offered me an office in their government, a rather high office by the sound of things. I believe I shall accept. If nothing else, it should provide a lofty vantage point from which to observe the breadth and epidemiology of the affliction so that I may move more expeditiously toward a cure.
Something's there in the dark.
I have accepted the role of Primogen for Clan Malkavian, the dreadfully winsome label applied to the particular strain of vampirism I suffer, so named for some supposed vampire father figure of old. More poppycock grown from a backward culture that seems interminably drawn to children's tales and the fiction of Victorian romance, when it should concern itself with the science behind their suffering. No matter, for I have taken this office for no greater reason than to advance my research. I must make mention, however, that even among my would-be peers in this governing body of vampires, the level of paranoia and superstition is frightening. Their intelligence is not the question, no, indeed. As they courted me for this appointment, I had to suspect that their overtures were hand-tailored to what must be my obvious infatuation with reason, for the devil would do well to have such honey-tongued tempters. Even so, I could not help but notice the dressing of language these vampire leaders chose for their siren song. Whether it is born of habit, from addressing their unwashed, ill-educated subjects, or from their own deep-seated beliefs, their linguistic flourishes belie a faith in superstition over the providence of empirical reason that must be an all-pervasive theme in this society of darkest night. Damn it all, now I'm doing it too. As I expand my dealings with the vampire government, I have encountered a disturbing new symptom of this affliction. Frequently, in conversation, I will hear voices emanating from other vampires, voices that are not their own, but which seem to have insight into their lives beyond what I could gather from simple conversation. These voices seem to echo from deep within my fellow vampires, and I cannot be certain if this symptom belongs to my strain of the illicit arts, for the voices are various and inconsistent. I dare not mention this symptom to my vampiric peers, for they have proven themselves too predators to whom I could be loath to reveal any insights. Indeed, these voices have counseled me against confessing their presence, and until I can confirm their source, I will listen. The information the voices have given me ranges from curious to frightening. The latter case is especially true of one powerful vampire whose name I shall not commit to recording in the interests of self-preservation.
What now?
The voices have increased in frequency and direction of late. They have begun to stay with me long after conversation has ceased and are serving as quite a distraction. I fear others are beginning to notice my preoccupation at the vampire gatherings. I am thinking again of the particular vampire of whom I spoke previously, who I dare not name for my growing fear. If the voices are to be believed, then my caution is warranted, for they speak of his blackest crimes, both past and future. More than once, I have seen the suspicion in his eyes and heard the distrust in his voice when speaking with me. The fear must register on my face, as it is all I can do in these moments to keep from crying out in chorus with the voices. I am no longer safe. I know it. The voices have proven themselves authentic, and I have withdrawn from the Vampire Society entirely. My absence will no doubt draw attention, but I could no longer hold my fragile composure around the ravenous eyes of my vampire peers, especially not around him. The voices compelled me to make what I fear is a Faustian bargain, but I had to, for their demands are constant and merciless. I have secluded myself within the mansion. I know he will strike out at me. He will go to any length to achieve his ambitions, and he knows it, I know. I have taken precautions to protect my beloved wife. Her cure will have to wait until our immediate safety is guaranteed. The mansion was constructed with security in mind, but at that time I was not privy to the full range of vampire capabilities. The voices echo in the twisted corridors of my psyche, dark whisperings of a macabre and formless menace, the approach of which portends an end to all of this.
Master? Something's there in the dark.
Suntan that was lethal.
I'll blind them.
I think that's actually supposed to be used for Patty's Place. Like you can actually put these guys. Oh, well. I already got chowed down by Bishop.
They load in flames by the flames! Kraut is dead? Pity it could not be by my hand. No matter. Soon your self-made kings and false prophets and all who bear the mark of the beast will be washed from the earth for the coming of the Lord. As you burn, tell them it was Grünfeld Bach who sent your damned soul to that lake of fire. All agents of Satan shall return to whence they came. Let this righteous display serve as a promise to all who serve the archfiend Lacroix. I'm coming for you, Lacroix. By the power of the Lord, I will cleanse your black soul.
What now?
But now, we get the fuck out of here is what we do. Jump down. Yeah, there we go. Took a lot of damage. Oh, fuck, there you are. I was wondering where the hell you disappeared off to. I need some blood now. You don't want it.
Yes,
Yeah.
with pleasure.
Get out of here. Holy shit. Fire bad. Fire real bad. Poor mansion.
Hop in.
I wanna go talk to LaCroix. Don't crash. Alright.
Evening there. Something burning? Ooh, smells like someone burnt the burgers. Sure, I'll open her up for you. Jeez, I could go for one of them double-spaced burgers. With onions, and cheese, and bacon, and guacamole.
The Primogens still haven't been contacted by Grout. I thought I made it clear that you were not supposed to come back until we had heard from him. Grout's dead. What? Bach! Every time I think he's lost the scent. So, Bach killed Grout to draw me out. Bach is a hunter. They stalk and kill our kind to appease their god. But like many mortals, their so-called faith is nothing but a conduit through which they quench their killing urge. Who else would have killed Grout? Look at me. Are you sure it was Nines Rodriguez? Because if it was, the consequences... Do you know where this might lead? Do you really have any idea? I'm glad you find this so amusing. I don't. And do you know why? It means... Under most circumstances, I would call a blood hunt on the murderer immediately. However, the anarchs of this city may interpret such an action to be a declaration of war. I do not want a war with them. This decision will take some time. I need to confer with the Primogen on this. In the meantime, I've come to a decision on the Ankaran sarcophagus, and I believe that for the safety of the inhabitants of this city, we need to place the sarcophagus under Camarilla protection until its contents can be confirmed. This also is very important, so I need to call upon your skill once more. The Ankaran sarcophagus was quietly delivered to the Museum of Natural History a few hours ago. I would like you to bring it back here for safekeeping. Let me finish. The manifest from the Dane shows there was a small box from the same dig on board, but it was listed as missing. Keep an eye open for it. It may have been overlooked. It's crucial we get the sarcophagus in our possession within the next few hours. Here, I'm feeling charitable. Here are the keys to the front door of the museum. The sarcophagus should be in an examination room of some sort. There's a small security staff on site, but I don't want a massacre. Mortals are just as easy to deceive as they are to kill. There is a degree of immediacy attached to this task. Work fast. And, as on the Dane, you are not to open the Ankaran sarcophagus for any reason. Excuse me.
Ooh, lad. Get the hell out of here.
You measly fuck. You fingered Nines. Said he killed him. I'm willing to believe you were a patsy in all this, but I'll be watching you, kid. Don't expect to see him until this bullshit is resolved.
Heard anything? Got it. Keep it up. Master?
Going somewhere?
Freeze!
Fuck that up.
Hey, hold it! You can't hide from me. Freeze!
Subtlety.
Hey, hold it!
2, 3, 5, 8.
I can't understand why someone would go through the trouble of stealing a box with a very ancient corpse. This city's not that dull. I'm an archaeologist, so I thought I'd indulge in a quick study of this Ankaran sarcophagus everyone's so riled up about. My guess, from what I've read about it, is that it's a mummified Mesopotamian king. I needed confirmation. Oh, I really wish I had. All this speculation about the sarcophagus containing an antediluvian and being a portent of Gehenna is making me cringe. These are the kinds of ridiculous, superstitious assumptions I came here to debunk. Armageddon, doomsday, the end of all kindred. It's a common facet of most mythologies. Fear that the world will end. Many believe Cain and the antediluvians will return to consume or destroy all kindred. I wholeheartedly disagree. Cain, who I assume you mean, is the biblical first kindred and founder of the mythological first city, Enoch, a place where kindred and kind coexisted. I believe Cain's a figure concocted to personify the transition from nomadic society to agrarian society. That myth, like most, has been twisted by time. What prophecy doesn't have vague, apocryphal signs? Let's see. The usual ones cited are the appearance of thin bloods, Cain sightings, doom, gloom, that route. Thin bloods rarely exhibit features or powers of their clan, and many can't embrace. Some are even rumored to have reproduced. Many kindred are terrified that their weak blood heralds the dissipation of every bloodline. Somewhat of an ignorant reactionary response, don't you think? Oh, don't let me interrupt your progress, if indeed you've made some. My reason for being here is probably being bid on as we speak. Someone is certainly going to be surprised when they find out they've just paid a kingly sum for a desiccated old corpse.
Oh, excuse me, starting to doze off there. Oh, I need to get a guard animal of some sort to alert me when folks come in. Maybe one of them chimps like on that show Ape Detective? Oh, that monkey always gets his man. What? Oh, yeah, Mr. LaCroix's expecting you. For a young guy, he sure likes to work late. Me, I spent most of my youth in the entertainment industry. Yeah, I guarded the sets for over 6 top 10 TV shows.
Top 10 TV shows. How impressive.
The folly of leadership is knowing that no matter what you do, behind your back there's hundreds, certain that their own solution is the sounder one, and that your decision was the byproduct of a whimsical dart toss. I pronounce the blast sentence, and I soak the critical fallout. I make the decisions no one else will. Leadership. I wear the albatross and a bullseye. Then you can join the crows on the fence after we're done here. The blood hunt on Nines Rodriguez for the murder of Alistair Grout will be called. Rodriguez's execution is only a matter of time. I have lit the fuse. If a war ignites, it's my head they will sharpen the pikes for. Now to the matter of the sarcophagus. Do you need assistance bringing it up? Stolen? Stolen? How? Who would... Oh, Gary. Gary, you treasonous maggot. I should have anticipated your treachery, sewer rat. The Nosferatu Primogen. The Nosferatu were responsible for finding out where the sarcophagus was taken after the Dane, and for getting keys to the museum. They were the only ones who knew. It's obvious to me now. My mistake. I want him found. I want him found. The sarcophagus could be exploited, causing who knows what catastrophe to this city. If it were to fall into the wrong hands, the Nosferatu lurk in the filth below the streets of Hollywood, but not even I know just where they hide. Hollywood is, unfortunately, lacking in any Camarilla loyalties. Hollywood's baron is an anarch named Isaac. Isaac's more civil than the anarchs downtown, but nonetheless, he wears his mistrust of me on his sleeve. He may know how to contact the Nosferatu. Find Gary and get him to talk. That sarcophagus could be used against us. Do not come back until you have it. Now, I must announce the blood hunt and bear the brunt of all consequences. Escort him out.
Ooh. Off to Hollywood. But first, take care of a couple things.
That girl you sent to me. I've grown used to masquerading as one of them and seeking something suitably feeble enough to cull from a herd. That's the first time I've had one delivered. Yes, this is genuine and of use to me. There is something resonating from it. A whisper. I will give you this in trade. It is known as the Odious Chalice. It swells with spilled blood and offers its bloat to its owner. Yes. Death is the ultimate dilemma, and integral to the beliefs and behavior of every culture. Life is bore on the corpses of the dead. Without death, there would be no motivation to accomplish anything. The only emotion would be existing. Life would be pestilent and agonizing. Yes.
Oh my goodness.
Money, right?
600? Wow, thank you. You're so generous.
wanted to.
Go back to Santa Monica real quick. Don't mind.
Master? Finally, you're back. I thought maybe something happened to you. I shouldn't even think such a thing. I mean, if you disappeared, how could I go on? But you're here now. I'm so glad when you're near me. Blood? What do you mean? Let your wrist cry your love. This feeling. It's love. Oh, all I can feel is love for you. I almost forgot. I got a college loan check today. Here, I want you to take some of the money. I'd rather you kept it. I think I'm gonna drop out of school. You know, so I can watch over you during the day or run errands for you. It's the least I can do to earn my keep.
I can't. Just keep the money, please. It feels too guilty. I'm a monster.
Yes.
Come on. It helps to have somebody else, doing the graveyard section.
Need a ride?
Going to Hollywood, baby.
Ain't seen you here before. And if I haven't seen you, neither has Isaac. So that's your next stop. Isaac's in the jewelry store at the end of the street. Consider yourself invited. Heh, you do.
Yeah, I'll do that when I feel like it, man.
The moon is out, everyone's in dreamland, and you've...
What's up? Welcome to Red Spot, home of the Monster Chug. 72 ounces of your favorite beverage for 89 cents, blah, blah. You need help or something? Humility? Seriously, you want some orange juice or something to help you come down? Because, like, you're wigging. This isn't going to turn out to be ironic, is it? You're not, like, a serial killer, are you? Always. You should come out and see my band, A Bowl of Cereal. We're playing tomorrow night at the crematorium. $5, 2 drink min. We're gonna ruin the place.
15 more cents and you're
the
going in
Vesuvius
my
rocks.
stomach, Jocko
They don't let me
Bombs.
in anymore, but damn, the girls in there, dude. It's like midget smuggling ring in there.
61. 62,
Hey, you know, you should really ask me about the special, you know?
15 more cents and you're
I'm
going
glad you
in my
asked that, bro.
stomach,
Seeing as how
Jocko
you look
Bombs.
trustworthy or something, I got this
Trustworthy or
special where you buy some really expensive burrito tots or grapefruit juice. You get a free weapon of your choice, bro. You interested?
God, I fucking love being American.
61, 62, 63, 15 more cents and you're going in my stomach, Jocko Bombs.
Light leather clothing.
61, 62, 63, 15 more cents and you're going in my stomach, Jocko Bombs.
Oh, Jesus Christ. Stoner, can you please be quiet for like 2 seconds? More bottles, don't need those. Silver ring, don't need that. Pill bottle. This is estrogen. I'm not on HRT.
Yes.
They should, like, combine pizza and nachos together and call them Piznaccios. Man, I could go for some
Master?
Piznaccios right now.
Okay, yeah, there we go. I'm gonna open you like a fucking drawer. Jesus, how many bullets do you have? Where do you even keep getting the bullets? Used ranged weapons? Alright, let's go handle that shit in the cemetery.
I could have swore I told you to see the Baron. Yeah, that was a laugh. Except my sense of humor is a little askew, you know? Conflict just cracks me the hell up.
This is getting a little bit too obvious. Get this shit out of my way, please. Oh my goodness. Blocked by singular pieces of wood. There we go. Jesus.
Whoa there, Slick. Might want to think about knocking next time I damn near blew your hat off. Thought you might be a zombie. Who else would be waltzing in here in the middle of the night? Name's Romero. I'm the caretaker here. Well, that is, I don't exactly keep people from getting in, although that is part of my job. No, you see, I'm here to make sure nothing gets out. See, it's like this. Every night around this time for the past, several months now, the dead have been getting up with an itch to stroll down Hollywood Boulevard. Nobody knows why, but they're working on it. Till they figured out they needed a volunteer to patch the problem, and I stepped forward. Problem temporarily solved, the Baron's happy, I get to shoot zombies, and guarantee I get my blood for another month. I've carved out a nice niche here. Shoot them, blow them away, frag them, whatever the situation calls for. Sometimes I throw in chopping and dicing just to mix it up. Who knows? Vampire necro hoodoo, toxic waste, solar radiation. The important part is, they continue to rise up, and I get to put them down. Everybody's a winner. You're telling me far as I know, I'm the only person around Hollywood who considers marksmanship an art. A lot of the stiffs around here used to be asshole celebrities, too. Bonus. I love my job, what can I say? By the way, hey, you wouldn't be interested in watching the place while I go handle some business, would you? I'm not supposed to leave, or it might end up in a zombie holocaust or something. Like one time these goths snuck in. Ooh, wasn't pretty. I'll be back in about 5 minutes. If you should see any zombies in that time, you need to put them down. Now, they're dead, so you're either gonna have to hack them up good, or shoot them in the head. Just don't let them bite you. No, just hurts like a bitch. Fantastic. Only one rule. Nothing gets out. Keep them away from the front and back gates. Here, this might come in handy. Back in 5.
Oh my god, no, 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 get away from me, get away, no.
Figures they come out while I was gone. Guess that means they're learning. Give me a hand finishing off the last of them, would you? Very nice. Whole time I was getting that six-pack, I kept thinking, I might have made a mistake. Can't believe I missed out on tonight's action. Yeah, I'll be back tomorrow night. Hey, let me give you something for the assist. What have I got to give? I can give you a couple bucks. When you fire, keep your eyes on the target even after you shoot. And use this sight, that's what it's there for. And style doesn't count for jack if you can't hit anything. Keep that Glock to the side crowd in the movies. Would you look at the time? $1 Million Midnight movie's about to start. Tonight's Teen Mummy meets Hercules Jr. Keep the sun off your face, Ace. See ya.
See ya. Harder than I thought.
Yes.
I need some blood badly.
Please, take me inside of you.
Oh, not him. Oh no. Look out.
Oh my god! My work is done.
Grab that. Brother salvage card. Should put this
Sorry, no vacancy.
You don't have to give me a vacancy, man, but you will have to give me your blood.
I'll scream.
more flatbread and olive oil. And take back this Chardonnay and open up a Chianti. Let it breathe for 20 minutes and then bring it out with a ziti. Okay? Wanted to know what? Interrupt me while I'm working? Do you understand that this is an important opening, and I, emphasize I, am... Hello. Now go get yourself some onion rings or hot wings or whatever it is you eat. The refined palate of a true gourmand is, to put it in a language you can relate to, trying to decide if this place is thumbs up or thumbs down.
It's a really interesting glitch. Alright, there we go.
Me, Tommy Flayton, the food authority of Los Angeles, food critic for the biggest paper on the West Coast, radio host for Chower Hour. Maybe if I reviewed more pancake cuts, you'd know me. Me, Tommy Flayton, the food... You're wasting my time. Me? I'm not sure exactly what you mean. What? This place will pay for this. As sure as my name is Tommy Flayton, they'll never serve food in this town again.
Hop in.
Take me back to Santa Monica, baby. We got something to handle.
Judgment gets closer every second! Skies are all rotten and the storm is our...
Very interesting.
Something's there in the dark.
Oh shit. I want to make sure he doesn't like drop a car on me and kill me instantly. Alright. It's a little early to be shooting Kevin. Maybe just calm down a little bit. If only you were that enthusiastic when the zombies were around. I can't jump over this, right? Fucking Christ alive. Jump on top. There we go. I'm stuck behind this car, man. What are you doing, game? Please let me out of the cutscene lock. Oh, Jesus Christ.
Hey, stop right there. I'll blind them.
It's the exact kind of thing I was trying to avoid.
What now?
This is always a super glitchy ass section. Source physics engines. Come on, buddy. Kick the thing.
Back off, vampire! Stay the fuck back! I did nothing to you! What the hell do you care? I don't give a damn if you understand. You think your bullshit vampire rules mean a goddamn thing to me? Nothing matters to me. My family, my children were butchered by small-time criminals just looking to rob a house, steal a car, take whatever. No sense to any of it. No plan, no ransom. Just kill them because why? Because they were there, in the way? Not one of them paid. My whole family dead, my life gone. I'm supposed to let that happen? I tracked them down, hunted them, one by one, caught them all. The one you saw in Hollywood, he was the last of them. Revenge, justice, whatever you want to call it. All I thought about is taking these evil animals, ripping them to shreds and licking their blood from my claws. I don't know. Butchering those bastards was the first time I felt anything since my family was torn from me. I'm sure there are others out there whose crimes have gone unpunished. At least I put it to use. How many vampires have used their abilities for a just cause? At least I did something. I can't turn my back on the evil in this world. I won't answer to anyone, and you'll never take me alive, vampire. No one will take from me again. No one! Either we go our separate...
Master? I'm being watched. I know it. Something followed me. They could be watching me right now. Make them stop. Make them stop! Get their eyes off me! Are the eyes really gone? Will it really be okay?
Do I still distract you?
You need my blood? Of course.
somewhere?
Yeah, take me back to Hollywood, please. Wait for Mr. Man to accost me like you know he will. Not quite yet.
Oh, look what just walked in. I can't imagine you'd get much of a rise out of Vesuvius, being what you are. Maybe I'll have more luck with you.
Cemetery runoff,
we should get to know each other a little better upstairs, where we can be ourselves. Come up to my room. Just 14 little steps. I'll make it worth it. Believe me. You'd be missing out if it wasn't. Isn't this better? You and me alone for just a little while. Away from jihad and the nonsense and the dangers. Just the two of us. I don't want to spoil the moment, but there's a reason I needed to speak to you alone.
Motive? How unexpected.
Oh, I forget sometimes the two-faced nature of our blood. It's sad, really, the way we get conditioned so quickly, isn't it? The reason I asked you up here is because I and the rest of the Hollywood kindred have been under surveillance lately by hunters. I didn't want you to say anything that might draw attention.
Me? Draw attention?
This is gonna be interesting. I'm Velvet. Valor. Call me Velvet. It's been months since I've seen anyone new in here. I was starting to take it personally. And who should finally walk in but a real celebrity? I've heard a lot about you. So, wouldn't you like to know about me? I'm like a book. All you have to do is run your finger down my spine and crack me open to see what I'm about. Hunters. Yes. They've been staking out Hollywood for several weeks. They've been in Ash's club, mine, a few others. I think they're whittling down their list of suspects. I'm a bit nervous. Until recently, I had one right under my nose. For a few weeks, one of them was working here at Vesuvius, keeping an eye on the clientele. I found a weapon in her locker and I fired her. She's still in Hollywood watching my club. And me. I've had to adjust a lot to this existence. And I've accepted that I may have to do just that. But I'm a suspect, and if she ends up dead, and I'm seen, they'll either kill me or chase me into obscurity, where I'll wither and die. Would you? I think it might be a little much to ask. You'd really be willing to do this for me? I won't lie. It's gonna be dangerous. But if you got rid of her, I'd be grateful. Very, very grateful. She works over at the sin bin now. Her hair's blonde, on top. Broken heart tattoo on the small of her back. Dances under the name Chastity, as if that wasn't a dead giveaway. I want you to understand. I don't want any innocents killed on my account. So if there are other dancers or patrons around, you'll have to lure them away from her. Do it as quietly as you can. No witnesses, please. And be careful using disciplines around the hunter. Mm-hmm. There's only one part of my body I don't want anyone entering, and that's my head. That other name, never say it again. It belongs to a dead girl. I'm not hiding my past. I'm not that girl. She was flawed. She was naive. She was nobody. And now she's dead. Let the dead rest in peace. My name is Vivi. Show yourself out. I'd like to say a prayer for someone I used to know.
Master?
I'm gonna do the rest of Hollywood tomorrow. Just wanted to get that first preliminary journey into Vesuvius out of the way. Poor Susan.